got all this power in the industry. It's not even about industry power. It's just about the power he has with the audience. People love Drake. When you think of hip hop, you think of Drake. Oh yeah. Yeah, Euphoria as well. Look at this. Right here. April 30th of 2024, Kendrick Lamar under exclusive license to Interscope Records. Oh, okay. I think he's onto something here. Oh, okay. Hold on. Fucking holy mother of fucking glaze, dude. Get your fucking mouth off his dick, okay? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Lil Mackie Rov, aka Mito. You already know, aka Mr. McBaldy, aka Big Swole nigga. I ain't swole, but I had Burger King, so I feel pretty swole. And then I just feel fat. But anyways, what's up, guys? How y'all doing, man? I hope y'all doing good. I'm doing pretty good. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've just uploaded a reaction video, bro. Yeah, I've been gone. I apologize. I haven't posted in about 2 weeks. And it's been a little long since I posted something of a reaction. And I'm sorry about that. I've been going through kind of my own things at home with family, and I been trying to deal with that. I recently lost my dog that I've had since I was like 13 years old. She passed away. She was just really old. She was 14. And I'm not gonna lie, I knew it was coming, but it hit a lot harder than I expected. So it kind of took me out. I had no energy to just really make anything too much outside of like gaming clips I already had recorded of me and my friends playing. So I apologize about that, but I'm back. Be back to it. I'm gonna make sure I keep with this consistency, man. I really do need to make sure I upload more, and I want to make sure I give you guys the content that you guys came here for. So that's where I've been at. Just kind of dealing with that. So yeah. Anyways, we back to it. We just gonna hit the ground running. I also recently just came back from the Grand National Tour. Kendrick, this boy popped out here in Chicago, bro. This man was at Soldier Field. I got a couple videos saved. I'm gonna put them up right now.
Run to Atlanta when you need a check balance. Let me break them down for you. It's the real nigga challenge. You call future when you do see the color. Certified lover boy, certified pedophile.
So y'all can see it, and I know that shit looks pretty sick, bro. I was pretty geeked. That shit I went there with a friend, and it was really, really dope. The whole experience was really dope. It was a good time, and man, dude, I really I honestly wish it lasted a little longer. The concert was like 3 hours long. I just wish the day lasted longer. Like that whole day was so fucking fun, bro. I enjoyed it. That was really cool. So I thought, why don't we continue the Kendrick train, pause with a reaction video here called Why Kendrick Waited to Diss Drake. Drizzled Draco. So yeah, let's just get to it, man. Let me turn it up a little bit. Turn up a lot of bit, so be ready.
With the new Clips album on the way with a confirmed Kendrick feature now attached, Pusha T continued to detail the behind the
according to UMG copyright, Clips, Pusha T and No Malice and Kendrick Lamar have an upcoming okay.
shenanigans that took place in a recent interview with GQ.
When you started to hear objections to the Lamar verse on the Clips album, where were they coming from? UMG has this department where they review lyrics, so it was that department. The real reason that department is there is to protect the artist and the label from lawsuits for copyright infringement. They do it for all the labels. Some labels adhere to it closer than others. Let's say you interpolate somebody else's songs. That department is there to make sure that the song is properly cleared. It's not meant to be like you said XYZ about XYZ artist, so we're not going to release this music. Okay.
Def Jam, who is under UMG, was pleased with the Clips album, but feared that the optics of having Kendrick and Pusha, two people who beefed with Drake, on the same song would look bad. They wanted to censor Kendrick's verse, and Pusha wasn't having it, so he paid 7 figures to Def Jam to get dropped, and after that, shopped the album around for a year before it landed.
I did hear about that on TikTok. There's this guy that I follow on TikTok. I forgot his name, but he if I remember, if I can find him, I will put his TikTok in the description so you guys see what I'm trying. You guys see what I'm talking about. But I saw this guy on TikTok. I follow him, and he talks about hip hop a lot, and he was talking about this too. How UMG, I guess UMG, told Pusha that he could not have Kendrick on the track because of the fact that they were nervous about that there could be any like disses towards Drake, which then could bring them some like lawsuits and shit. And I heard that, and I thought that was just kind of whack. I made a stupid comment on his post where I was just like, Drake officially killed hip hop, because like, look, if that's the case, bro, that does low key. I mean, it doesn't kill the entire sport of hip hop. I'm being very hyperbolic when I say that, but it does definitely feel like it, because I feel like if labels are now going to try to prevent artists from working together, certain artists from working together because of a history that they both share with having a problem with another artist, and there's fear of litigation happening and defamation and things like that could happen, I feel like that's just kind of dumb, you know, because that's the whole sport of hip hop is, or at least dissing people in rap is to, you know, like niggas is going to say some wild shit, bro. And sometimes you just gotta let that slide, or not even let it slide. You don't have to let shit slide, but you definitely don't sue motherfuckers for no reason, bro. Like you're supposed to get in the studio, write your shit, write your little diss back, and you do it back and forth and let the court of public opinion say who won. And if you take the loss, guess what you do? You be like Goku, you pop back in the hyperbolic time chamber, you heal a little bit, you train, and you just come out swinging with a good-ass track to remind the audience, hey, I'm still that dude, though. You don't go to the actual court and try to get a nigga censored because you mad about what he said in a track. I feel like that's the most bitch shit to do. And that's just the way I look at it, bro. Because, like, when has any other artist that you know that's gotten to a diss battle, from Jay-Z to Nas to Pac and Biggie to 50 and Ja Rule or Eminem and Murder Inc., like, when have you heard any of these dudes go to court for this shit? And if there have been, let me know, please. I will walk back what I said. But nobody does that. Everybody just gets in the studio, they go back and forth, tit for tat, and then let the audience decide who wins. And whoever loses, you just go to the studio and you just keep on releasing music, and that's it. You don't fucking go. You don't go to court, bro. That's just so bullshit.
On Rock Nation. Now the album is slated to be released in full on July 11th, despite all the craziness behind the scenes. With all of this happening, it made me think back to a question I've had for years. Why did it take so long for Kendrick and Drake to beef? And I think I may finally have the answer. For context, the Kendrick and Drake war goes all the way back to 2013, and I remember the day like it was yesterday. It was summertime. I was 15 years old at an amusement park with my family, and then I got the notification that something dropped. It was a song called Control by Big Sean featuring Kendrick and Jay Electronica. And the rest was history.
And that goes for Jamaica, Big Crit Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mills, A$AP Rocky, Drake, Big Sean, Jay Electron, Tyler McMillan. I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas.
I was just as much as a Kendrick fan back then in 2013 than I am now in 2025. And when I tell you, you just had to be there. 2013
that's
was a
true.
crazy year for music, and an insane year for both Kendrick and Drake. Dot went scorched earth on Control, calling out the entire rap game, especially Mr. Obi.
Bro, I remember when that shit dropped, bro. I was in an amusement park. I was in school. I was in the middle of class. I think it was like my last period. I was in like study hall or some shit. And my homie Carlos, we shared it. He was like, bro, Kendrick just dropped, bro. He dissing everybody. And I was like, nah, no way. So we pulled it up on my fucking Chromebook, and I plugged in my headphones. I gave him an earbud. I had my earbud in. Bro, yo, when we heard this, bro, we got in trouble by the teacher, bro, because she was mad because we were like, yo, like we were loud, bro. And like everybody was like looking at us like, the fuck is wrong with y'all? And we were going crazy, bro. We couldn't believe the shit that we were hearing. And yeah, my teacher got mad at me. She ended up splitting us for the rest of the time. She split us up across the classroom so we couldn't be near each other. But dude, that was a crazy verse, bro. That shit shook the whole game. I remember after that, bro, like everybody was talking about that verse, dude. Like it stopped the world of hip hop for a minute, bro, because everybody that he mentioned had an interview and everybody in those interviews were like, yo, how do you feel about this this track where Kendrick called you out? How do you feel about it? And literally everybody was like, yo, I respect him, you know, like I respect him for like really like trying to heat up the game and really put some fire under some people, you know. I respect Kendrick. And I swear the only one who got all fucking pissy about it was Drake. He's the only one that took it way to heart. J. Cole went on an interview and said that he respected the Control verse. Pusha T respected the Control verse. Everybody sat there and was like, yo, the fact that this dude came on here and mentioned me in this verse let me know that he holds me in a regard, making like he thinks that I'm one of the best out right now. So I actually take a lot of or I actually feel very respected at the fact that he called me out for this, because it makes me feel like he looks at me like I'm one of the best right now, including Drake. Drake was in that shit too. He's the only one that sat there and was like, nah, I don't fuck with that, because if it's like some real shit, if you don't like me, you can't smile at me one day and then diss me in a song one day and then turn around and smile in my face again. Like, what kind of shit is that? He's the only one that gets so pissy about it, bro.
And Drake ended up coming back with, in my opinion, his last all-around great project, Nothing Was the Same, where Drake had return shots for Kendrick on the song called The Language.
I don't know why they been lying, but your shit is not that inspiring.
Oh yeah.
That's talking that shit just to get a reaction. I am the kid with the motor mouth. I am the one you should worry about. I don't know who you're referring to. Who is this nigga you heard about? Someone just talking that bullshit, man. Someone just gave you the runaround.
Dot would respond later in 2013 during a BET cypher where he again went scorched earth on Drake.
Yeah, and nothing been the same since
The Grubs Control is it's a sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. Ha ha, jokes on you. High five. I'm bulletproof.
Both men would take shots on their respected albums, features, and other deep cuts. And while all this was happening, I always wondered to myself, why is it taking so long for the two of them to just beef already? Fast forward to 2024, and after years of sneak disses from both parties, Kendrick decided to jump fully in the ring first by dropping Like That, which baited both Drake and Cole into the rap feud, and we all know exactly how that ended.
Motherfuck the big three.
Nigga, it's just Big Meat. Just so, dude, oh, bro, Like That was so good, bro. Oh, man, dude. Honestly, real quick, I feel like the reason why, I'm just going to say it before he says it, because I want to see if I'm right or not, and see if maybe we have the same opinion. I just feel like he low-key just waited, only because Drake, even at that time, was, I mean, he still is a bigger artist compared to Kendrick even today, though Kendrick has definitely gotten a lot closer since last year, since Like That and Not Like Us and all that. I just feel like Kendrick knew if he went fully in at Drake, it's not the fact that he couldn't out bar for bar Drake. Kendrick could out bar Drake even back then. There was just no question about it. I remember having conversations about this again. Yo, shout out my homie Carlos, bro. I miss you, bro. Again, my homie Carlos, him and I were having conversations about this even back then. And we were like, yo, if Drake and Kendrick were to actually like go like back like bar for bar like in a diss battle, who do you think would win? And I said with no hesitation it'd be Kendrick, just because Kendrick is way more efficient and way more cutthroat in his lyrics compared to Drake. But I just feel like he didn't do it back then, only because he wasn't even close to Drake as far as like commercially, or like as far as people knew him. Like back then, if you knew about Kendrick, even though he was pretty successful, like you really had to be tapped into hip hop, I feel like, in like 2013, 2012, 2014 and shit too, to like really know about Kendrick, because he was still pretty, like, he wasn't like super underground, but like as far as like when you think of rap back then, like you really only thought of like Drake, Cole, Lil Wayne, like, you know, like you really had to be popping, you know. He wasn't really on that level yet, and I feel like if he was to attack Drake that prematurely, I think the audience wouldn't really want to hear him out. Like, and I know his fans would definitely hear him out and be like, oh yeah, no, like Kendrick's better. I think the overall rap audience, even like some of your more surface level fans, wouldn't have messed with Kendrick going at Drake like that, because Drake was just, he was so massively loved by everybody in hip hop, from like a lot of like the hardcore fans, even from the hardcore fans to the more surface level fans. Like the really only people that didn't really like Drake were like your super hardcore hip hop fans. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's probably why he didn't do it. That's my 2 cents with it.
With Pusha T's recent interview detailing the issues he faced behind the scenes post Story of Adidon, it had me thinking, is this the reason why Kendrick waited all these years to diss Drake? In my opinion, I think Dot was ready to feud with anyone, especially Drake back in 2013. And some would argue that Drake would have had a better chance had he entertained this earlier in his career. And even though I think Kendrick would have still beat him back then, I think Drake would have made a much better effort during that time because he wasn't so far gone yet, no pun intended. Just by seeing how Drake handled the Control verse, it was already extremely telling, and it showed that he didn't understand the culture even earlier in his career. There was also that interview with ESPN and Marcellus Wiley, where Drake was apparently going off on Kendrick, which he had scrubbed from the record shortly after.
So we taping the interview with Drake. You know, we see full shot of Drake. We hitting each other elbow like, this motherfucker going in. And he just kept talking trash about Kendrick. They got the video somewhere, so I wish they just let the shit go because it's out there, but they probably burned them like the Spygate tapes or some shit like that.
Marcellus Wiley and Top Dog, the CEO of TDE, are good friends. So, could whatever Drake have said during that interview gotten back to Top and Kendrick? Or do you think the interviews that Drake gave after Dot's callouts were revealing enough?
And that verse was...
Oh, no, for sure. Bro, I feel like people don't understand how really tapped in Kendrick is to the world of hip-hop from today to back then. Like, Kendrick is very, very in tune to whatever artists is, like, whatever new artists are popping up, whatever's being said, and especially shit that's being said about him. Oh yeah, bro, he definitely knew.
He's giving people like moments, you know, like that.
Oh yeah, and then this interview,
to talk about. Are you listening to it now at this point in time?
That's crazy.
Okay. I almost wish he had come in there on that shit because I kind of lost like a little respect for the sentiment of the verse.
Where is Drake at with Control?
I'm probably like as done as like the rest of the world is with that record. Like I think it came and it went, you know what I mean? And not to discredit it, like it was a good moment, but at the end of the day, it's just like, it was like one of those sort of like fleeting like Twitter frenzies that like, it was cool for what it was.
Regardless, I can see Top sitting Kendrick down at some point in 2013 after Control was released, informing Kendrick that you're gonna have to go about this with strategy if you're coming to battle this guy, because the power he has behind the scenes is big and he's extremely sensitive to what went down. Fast forward to 2015, and Drake gets into his first major rap beef with Meek Mill after Meek Mill exposed Drake for having ghostwriters. Meek was just coming out of prison at the time and had a hard time finding a studio in the city, which is what stifled his effort. Drake would drop Charged Up, his first response to Meek, and Meek played around like he wanted to make up. Then Drake dropped Back to Back and finished Meek before he can even respond with his first song, Wanna Know.
Trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers. Yeah, you getting bodied by a singing nigga.
Despite the ghostwriting allegations, this would propel Drake to his hitmaker status, and Drake went on a 2-year run performing back-to-back on his very successful tours that followed. The running joke everyone made after this beef was that Meek Mill's career wasn't the same again. Even after the two made up in 2018 and Meek dropping a solid project in Dream Chasers 4, Meek was never looked at the same again. Could this possibly be due to behind-the-scenes plays made by Drake to stifle Meek's career? And please remember, guys, this is alleged. Drake always had power.
Dude. I just think Back to Back was such a good. It was honestly, and it was such a good track. Like it's not as lethal as a diss track as like any other diss tracks you can think of, especially some of the more legendary ones. But I think it was good enough. And I think especially the fact that he dropped Back to Back, quite literally back to back after dropping Charged Up before Meek could even respond. It's like watching, bro, it's like watching a boxer, bro. It's like watching like a boxing match, dude. And bro gets the first knockout, bro gets up and right as they walk up, like right before bro can even get his first swing off, bro already fucking ducked it, hit him with that overhand, boom, square in the chin, and he's already laid out. Like, it's that second knockout, bro. It's that second lethal punch that just, it didn't matter what Meek was gonna drop, unless it was gonna be some like wildly disrespectful shit. you already got knocked out, bro, and people already decided Back to Back was the song of the summer, dude. Like, I feel like even if you didn't know it was a diss towards Meek, just Back to Back as a track itself was so fun and so fucking hard. Bro, ain't nobody give a fuck what Meek was about to say after that. And that sucks too, because Meek is a really, really good rapper. A fantastic rapper too. So it was just one of them tracks that just, Drake was smart about it. Like, people just got to give him his props with that. He was just smart the way he went about that. He did that classic fucking blitz strat and hit him before he could even have enough time to react or defend himself. So yeah, you got to give that one to Drake. That was, I'll say Back to Back, because I like that track. That's a good one.
Behind the scenes, and seeing how he even referenced that him and Lucien were Kobe and Shaq, it isn't a stretch to say that he used his privileges behind the scenes when he thought it was justified. I also always thought that Drake beefed with both Meek and Pusha T just to avoid beefing Kendrick, as the two were sneak dissing during this entire time as well. We now get to 2018, where Pusha T and Drake finally collide after years of subbing back and forth. Pusha T would release his 2018 album Daytona, produced by Kanye West, where he would drop the song Infrared, a Drake and Lil Wayne diss.
How could you ever right these wrongs when you don't even write your songs?
Drake would waste no time and respond with Duppy Freestyle.
Duppy Freestyle is good too.
Decent response, but this was nothing compared to what was coming.
God damn, that shit's loud.
Pusha T would drop The Bomb, The Story of Adidon. The track reuses the instrumental from Jay-Z's The Story of OJ, which was produced by No ID and sampled For Women by Nina Simone.
Confused, always felt you weren't black enough. Afraid to grow it cause your fro wouldn't nap enough.
Its lyrics target Drake revealed.
See, and I feel like story of Aladdin. That's what I used to call it, because I couldn't say fucking Adadadon. I still can't say it. So a story of Aladdin. I feel, but see, that's what I'm saying. If Duppy Freestyle, I think, was good enough to completely wipe Pusha T if he didn't come back even harder on some real disrespectful shit, which is what Story of a Dadadon is. Like, people, as much as I give a lot of shit to Drake, when he can make some catchy shit, and if the catchy shit is a diss to you, and if you don't respond with some more wild shit, you're out. This be just because I know he's saying like, oh, Drake's got all this power in the industry. It's not even about industry power. It's just about the power he has with the audience. People love Drake. When you think of hip hop, you think of Drake. And regardless of all the Kendrick fans that absolutely hate Drake, me included, and I don't absolutely hate the man either. I think he's all right. But for all the super hardcore Kendrick fans that are out there now that despise anything that Drake does, like, back then, you have to acknowledge the power that Drake held with the entire hip hop audience. That, yeah, if you're gonna go at him, you have to go at him with strategy, and not just strategy. You have to hit him where it hurts. You have to expose him for stupid shit. That's the only way you're gonna get the audience to look past Drake dropping a fire track. You know,
feeling the existence of his secret child, Adonis, and accusing him of hiding his son from the public while exploiting black culture and for commercial gain. Pusha T also made allegations about Drake's producer 40 and his health conditions. The song was released on SoundCloud, most likely to avoid clearance issues and other legalities. The Story of Adidon was met with widespread acclaim from music critics, many of whom praised Pusha T's lyricism and fearlessness. Complex called the first verse the best rap verse of 2018, which other publications called it the most devastating blow in the ongoing feud between the two rappers. In 2024, Billboard named it as the second most scathing hip-hop diss of all time. The cover art...
Okay, hold on. Fucking holy mother of fucking glaze, dude. Get your fucking mouth off his dick, okay? It was a good track, but I'm sorry. The second most lethal diss, what was the first? Because the first has to be either No Vaseline or Hit 'Em Up. And even if one of those two were the first, the other one has to be the second. So that's some holy glaze, bro. I like Pusha T. Nah, I'm sorry. I think that's in my top 10 of best disses for sure. But number 2, you're fucking bugging, bro.
Featuring a controversial image of Drake in blackface added to its shock value and public debate.
Well, I will say the cover for that, the blackface Drake, that was pretty crazy. I won't lie. When I saw that, I thought that shit was Photoshop, dog. Nah, that shit real. Yeah.
After a month of speculation, Drake confirmed he did indeed have a son in lyrics from his 5th studio album, Scorpion. He ultimately did not respond to the diss track, and the rest was history. Pusha's story of Adidon was eventually taken down by UMG, but can still be found on YouTube via re-uploads. Now, Pusha T only started having issues behind the scenes releasing music in 2018, the same year the story of Adidon was released. There was one instance where Rick Ross, Pusha, and Lil Wayne had a song set to release, but Pusha was mysteriously dropped from the song after calls were made. Rick Ross stated in an interview that he was the one that decided to take Pusha T off Maybach Music 6. He wanted to get Wayne and Pusha on the same record, but thought it was too early. Some people allege that at this time, Drake used his connections and friendship with Rick Ross.
Actually, what I heard, and I could be wrong, but what I heard was the fact that actually Rick Ross didn't even let these niggas know they were on the same track together. I heard first he made the song, and then he sent it over to Wayne, and then Wayne did his part, and then when he sent it to Push heard Wayne's part, and then I heard that Push was throwing in a lot of disses at Wayne in that same song, and so that's why Rick Ross didn't put the song out, because when he got it back, he realized, fuck, I can't let Pusha diss Wayne over here. So that's what I heard. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I heard that somewhere. I don't remember if I saw it on TikTok or YouTube or something, but I heard that he didn't even let them know they're on the same track together. He was gonna do we gonna put them together, but they don't even know they're on the same track. Which, honestly, that's pretty fucking crazy, by the way. I don't know why you would do something like that. That's just fucking, if it's true, that's just fucking stupid.
To get him off the song, as Drake was also on the same Rick Ross album.
I mean, what I did was I put together a record, and it ultimately came down to what would the vibe be if I was to release this record. Would this help move forward and end the tension between these two, young icons? Because ultimately, that's what I want to see.
Another example was during Pop Smoke's posthumous album, which was under Republic Records. There was a Pusha T verse on one of the songs, but then it was suddenly taken off. The label eventually threatened to not release the album in its entirety, just because Pusha was on the song. Young Thug even made an Instagram story about this issue.
I don't respect the Pusha T verse on the song with me and Gunna, because I don't have none to do with y'all beef, nor does Gunna. And if I knew that was about him, I would have made changes on our behalf. This rapper shit's so gay. What the fuck? All right.
That it was a full-on diss track. Remember, Thug is a good friend of Drake, and even the wording of his story seems like Thug himself knows of the power that Drake has behind the scenes, which is probably why he did not.
Hey, Young Thug, couple things. One, don't feel bad. Nobody knew what the verse was about. The label heads that stopped it didn't even know. They only assumed because he told them, the same way he told about the Ross Maybach 6 verse. And if he'll tell record executives about rap verses, God only knows what else he'll tell. I don't deal in police work, police rappers, or police niggas. Oh, okay. So even Pusha T is saying himself. Okay, so even Push is saying, yeah, no, there was some talks going on behind the scenes at the labels that okay, he's saying that Drake was telling these folks that, nah, he dissing me and that, get him off that. Honestly, I could see it, especially since we're in 2025 and we're going through the whole Drake versus UMG and the lawsuit thing over Not Like Us. So, I mean, oh, shit. I do hate the police thing. I mean, maybe he is a snitch. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Drake snitching, so I don't like calling him the police or calling him a snitch type shit or insinuating that he's such. But he is a bitch. he is a bit of a bitch. But again, Drake has power. He does definitely hold that power. So I mean, it seems like he was definitely okay with using it then. Which again, that does kind of kill for me. It does kill that spirit of hip hop because, bro, if you mad about a nigga being on verses, right, and if you mad about niggas having a nigga that you don't fuck with on tracks, bro, why? Why even try to sabotage dudes in the background? Just drop some fire shit. But this makes me believe that he just can't. He just, when it comes to actually going bar for bar with somebody, he doesn't have the skill set for it. And I think even though he won that battle with Meek Mill, that battle with Meek Mill also kind of proves that, because he couldn't even wait for Meek to respond before he decided to snap back at him. He hit him with a blitz. He hit him with a back-to-back. So he killed it before it could even start. That also kind of, I feel like that also kind of elevates this argument that, yeah, he's just not, Drake just isn't that prepared to go bar for bar with somebody. He wants to take them out before they even have anything else to say.
Not want to risk losing his friend and making an enemy out of him.
3.
Now,
oh wait, hold on. I wanted to read that.
Risk losing his friend and
3, and most important, Young Thug, just so we are clear, I would never look or need your respect for what it is. Oh, okay, yeah, whatever. He's just mad now.
Making an enemy out of him. Now, industry people talk behind the scenes. So while Dot was recharging during the early 2020s, I believe he knew exactly all the issues Pusha T faced post his battle with Drake. Kendrick must have known that if he was eventually going to clash with Drake, he would need to be extremely strategic, given how he is allegedly act behind the scenes. At the start of 2020, Kendrick and Dave Free started PG Lang, their own multimedia company. And after the release of Mr. Morale in 2022, Kendrick and Dave Free would leave TDE. At the time, many people speculated this could be due to ongoing issues between Kendrick and Top. But little did we know this was a small chess move in a grander game of war. Did Kendrick wait to complete his contract with TDE before deciding to engage with Drake? Given the information we know and things we don't know, Kendrick could have thought going out on his own would be better than doing it under TDE, which would put his label and label mates in the fire as well. Seeing how he strategized so well during the battle, is it a stretch to say he strategized this whole thing as well? The first clip in the Not Like Us music video is of a courthouse. So does this insinuate that Kendrick always had a feeling that Drake would take it to court?
Well, you know what though? Actually, I think, yeah, you know, he might be onto something with that PG Lang move, because I remember when he started PG Lang, I was excited. I just thought when he left TDE, I just thought he just kind of felt like he was, not that he was better than everybody else on TDE, because I know he had a lot of respect for all of his other people that were on TDE, but I just thought he was just trying to like elevate a little bit further, trying to do more of like a solo run. He also left, I'm pretty sure he left Black Hippie at that time too. So if this could make sense on why he started PG Lang, because after he opened up PG Lang, I also thought when he started that he was going to be on some like Kanye, Cole shit, because this is also when like Cole did his, well, I think Cole had Dreamville for a long time, but like Cole's also been like super into his Dreamville label, where he's actually getting a lot of artists in there and like trying to push him out. And I thought that was kind of what Kendrick was going to do himself, which I also thought was weird anyways, because I was like, well, TDE, even though I know it's not his label, like he's like him and Top go way back, so like I know Kendrick had a lot of pull in the TDE label, so why would he want to leave and start his own shit? But that makes sense, because right after he opened up right after he started PG Lang, the only other artist he signed to PG Lang at the time was Baby Keem. That's it. Like nobody else. And I think to this day, I don't think anybody else is signed to PG Lang. Hold on, let me actually look that up. Let me make sure. Let me see. Who is signed to... Oh, there you go. Look at that. PG Lang. Okay, so the company announced the signing of the rapper Tana Leone on March 9th under the aegis of Def Jam Records. He released his debut album Sleepy Soldier April 27th of 2022. Okay. So is that the only other artist he has signed? Let me see. Let me look at the Wikipedia. Dave Free are creative partners who met while they were in high school. Independent record label, Top Dog. TDE was working independently with rapper Baby Keem. Lamar later announced that he would also end his tenure with TDE, through the release of the fifth studio album. Multilingual, artist friendly. The company mission statement is PG Lang is multilingual. Our company speaks music, film, television, art, books, and podcasts, because sometimes we have to use different languages to get the point across. Okay, but who else is signed to? Who else is? PG Lang launched an advertising campaign for fashion house Calvin Klein. Okay, I'm not seeing anything else. Short films with these folks. Doesn't tell me who's signed to TDE. So I think it's just Baby Keem and the Tiana Leone guy or person that is signed to, or that is signed to PG Lang, not TDE. So yeah, but even then, at that time when he started PG Lang, when he went public with it on Instagram and all that, because I saw the post, it was just Kendrick and then Keem. That's it. So this does kind of make sense.
Euphoria, we heard Kendrick mention that Drake sent a cease and desist for Like That. Metro Boomin would confirm himself during the beef.
A cease and desist is for hoes. Can't listen to lies that come out of your mouth.
It was also mentioned in the docket filings for Drake's defamation lawsuit that Drake wanted to get Not Like Us originally censored upon release. And it seems that when UMG did not comply, Drake would take drastic measures which would lead to the lawsuit against them. Kendrick Lamar's diss tracks against Drake in 2024, including Not Like Us, were released under his own name through Interscope Records, rather than through PG Lang, his creative company. For instance, Not Like Us was credited as 2024 Kendrick Lamar under his exclusive licensing to Interscope Records. This strategic choice appears to have been made to separate the diss tracks from PG Lang's brand identity. By releasing the diss tracks independently, Lamar likely aimed to shield PG Lang from potential legal risks associated with the controversy surrounding the feud. In contrast, Lamar's sixth studio album GNX, which also included the songs Heart Part 6 and Squabble Up, was released through both PG Lang and Interscope. This underscores Lamar's intent to keep his personal artistic expressions separate from PG Lang's.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
Therefore, while PG Lang was involved in the release of GNX,
wait, I wonder if that's true. Hold on, I want to see who's put under Euphoria. Oh yeah, Euphoria as well. Look at this, right here. April 30th, 2024, Kendrick Lamar under exclusive license to Interscope Records. Oh, okay. I think he's onto something here. I think he's cooking. Oh, because that is interesting. Because Euphoria is also one of the only tracks that really like name Drake like by name in the song. So okay. I think he's onto something here. All right.
The diss tracks aimed at Drake were deliberately released under his own name via Interscope Records to maintain a clear distinction between his personal artistic statements and PG Lang's brand. Fast forward to 2025, and we now have this interview detailing the years of issues Pusha and his team had to deal with as Def Jam wanted to do the same thing to Kendrick that they did to him. It seems like beefing with Drake comes with a lot of post-career issues, which is insane to think because in most of these instances, he was the aggressor or the antagonizer, using his behind-the-scenes power to stifle artists he has issues with. Both Drake and UMG are at fault for this behavior because they have been clearly coddling him for years now. So it all makes sense as to why Drake sued UMG, because it's clear they have used ill practices on other artists in the past, especially in his favor. And when they refuse to do it for Kendrick, he lashes out and files a lawsuit, probably believing in his head that there's no way that Kendrick could have beaten him organically because UMG has played a huge part in manufacturing his own success. With this interview, we now know that UMG and Def Jam were censoring Kendrick from last year, and this was out of fear due to having Pusha T and Kendrick on a song together. This has to debunk the theory that Kendrick was colluding with UMG to defame Drake, because UMG just showed you that they're willing to stop Kendrick from releasing to protect Drake. There are no confirmed disses on this song or album, but the pairing of the two alone was enough for Def Jam to not want it to happen. This entire beef proved one thing. The labels had been treating Drake as the standard in hip-hop, and that was a grave mistake. No one artist should ever define the boundaries of the culture. Hip-hop has always been bigger than any other rapper. It's a living, breathing force, everlasting, unstoppable, and constantly evolving, no matter who's at the top. Even with all of Kendrick's precision, timing, and preparation, we still ended up with a lawsuit over a diss track. Just let that sink in. Because at the end of the day, this lawsuit isn't just about Kendrick or Drake. It's about creative expression. And if hip-hop starts policing that, what are we left with? Only time will tell how this all plays out. But one thing is clear. If artists can no longer speak freely, then we risk losing the very soul of the culture that built this genre in the first place.
Okay. So okay, so it is a little bit of what I said, where the court of public opinion would 100% be more siding with Drake more than anything. But okay, it is also Drake behind the scenes, because that does make sense. Because like, yeah, Euphoria. Let me see what else is on here, right? What's another track? What about 616? Is that on? I don't think 616's on. Oh, it is. Is it? Oh no, this is somebody else, I think. Nah, this isn't it. Yeah, I think that's true, because Euphoria is on Spotify and it's under Kendrick, and then Not Like Us is on Spotify and is also under Kendrick. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, right there. Kendrick Lamar under exclusive license to Interscope. So yeah, that makes sense, because yeah, let's look at GNX, because GNX is under PG Lang. Damn is most likely under TDE or Aftermath and Interscope and TDE. Okay. Yeah, and Mr. Morale is under Aftermath, Interscope, and PG Lang and TDE as well. Yeah, so so the two major tracks, Euphoria and Not Like Us, yeah, they're under Kendrick. Yeah, wow, okay, that makes sense. Damn, dude, that's just crazy though. That's just crazy though, that he had to go through all that. He had to release these things. He had to release these tracks independently to avoid TDE and PG Lang facing litigation from Drake, because of the fact that instead of him being able just to go in the fucking studio and just rapping his ass off and getting at Kendrick, he was just gonna sue them and just try to get him censored, which is fucked up. This is why I did make that statement under that guy's TikTok. I want to see if I can find it. That said Drake has killed hip hop. He low-key is trying to do so, or maybe he's not trying to, but he doesn't realize that what he's doing with doing all these lawsuits against people and then trying to go behind the scenes and try to get some certain people censored and certain people off albums and trying to make certain people not even release music altogether, it does kind of low-key, it stifles that spirit of hip hop. Because, bro, there's so many volatile fucking diss tracks that are out there, bro, against other people. People have died over diss tracks, bro. I'm not talking about drill shit. I'm talking about just rap shit, you know, like fucking 50 and Eminem versus All of Murder Inc. Like, nigga, like, people got hurt, people got stabbed, people got killed. Like, you got some diss tracks that really hurt some people, and those are still up. Rappers didn't try to mute other rappers or anything like that. They just went back in the studio and just kept going at it. But all of a sudden, when it comes to Drake, his only fight back is the law. Yeah, that's fucking crazy, man. But yeah, man, it's been me, Lil Mackie Rob. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If don't forget to leave a subscribe or leave a like, comment, consider subscribing for more. Like I said, I'm gonna try to upload more frequently now that things in my life are kind of, getting back to normal. And yeah, hopefully I see you guys in the next one, man. Have a good one and peace out.